When the global music charts update each morning, the competition is usually fierce. But this week, one name keeps appearing at the very top: Bruno Mars. His romantic new single Risk It All has surged to #1 on the global Spotify chart with more than 5.6 million streams in a single day, while also holding the #1 position on US Spotify for 7 consecutive days. At the same time, Bruno Mars has climbed to the top spot among all artists worldwide with over 130 million monthly listeners, a milestone that underscores his continued dominance in modern pop music. For many fans and industry observers, the achievement feels both surprising and inevitable. Surprising because Bruno Mars has never relied on the rapid-fire release schedules that dominate today's streaming era. Inevitable because his music, meticulously crafted, emotionally resonant, and instantly recognizable, has repeatedly proven capable of transcending trends. With Risk It All capturing millions of listeners across continents, the singer-songwriter has once again reminded the industry that timeless songwriting and world-class performance can still command the digital age. The latest chart milestone represents more than just another hit single. It marks a renewed chapter in the career of one of pop music's most reliable hitmakers. For Bruno Mars, whose real name is Peter Jean Hernandez, the journey to global superstardom began long before the streaming charts existed. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii, he grew up in a musical family surrounded by classic rock, soul, and rhythm and blues. By the time he moved to Los Angeles as a teenager, Mars had already developed the stage presence and vocal precision that would later define his career. In the early years, however, success did not arrive overnight. Before stepping into the spotlight, Mars worked behind the scenes as a songwriter and producer. As part of the production collective The Smeezingtons, he helped craft chart-topping records for other artists. His songwriting credits include hits that dominated radio and streaming platforms alike, giving him a deep understanding of what makes a song resonate with millions. That behind-the-scenes experience would eventually shape his own music. When Bruno Mars released his debut album Doo-Wops and Hooligans in 2010, it introduced a voice that sounded both nostalgic and contemporary. The album produced global hits such as Just the Way You Are and Grenade, establishing him as a versatile performer capable of moving between pop, soul, and R&B with remarkable ease. Over the next decade, Bruno Mars became one of the defining artists of his generation. His collaborations and solo projects consistently blended vintage influences with modern production. Songs like Uptown Funk, a collaboration with Mark Ronson, became cultural phenomena, dominating charts around the world and redefining the sound of mainstream pop. Later, tracks such as That's What I Like and 24K Magic showcased his ability to merge retro funk influences with contemporary songwriting. By the time he formed the retro soul duo Silk Sonic with Anderson .Paak, Mars had already earned multiple Grammy Awards and cemented his reputation as a performer who could command both the studio and the stage. Their breakout hit Leave the Door Open became a modern classic, praised for its lush production and smooth vocal harmonies. Now, years after those successes, Risk It All suggests that Bruno Mars is entering yet another creative peak. The song's soaring chorus and emotionally driven lyrics have struck a chord with listeners worldwide. Built around a warm blend of modern pop production and classic soul influences, the track feels unmistakably Bruno Mars, polished, passionate, and instantly memorable. Music analysts say the song's rise on streaming platforms reflects more than just fan enthusiasm. It also demonstrates the enduring power of artists who prioritize craftsmanship over quantity. While many pop stars release multiple singles each year to stay relevant in streaming algorithms, Bruno Mars has often taken longer breaks between projects. Yet when he returns, the impact is immediate. Bruno Mars has one of the strongest hit ratios in the modern era, said a fictionalized but realistic industry analyst speaking to entertainment media. He doesn't flood the market with songs. Instead, he releases records that feel like events, and when that happens, audiences respond in a huge way. The streaming data tells a similar story. With more than 130 million monthly listeners on Spotify, Bruno Mars currently ranks as the platform's most listened to artist globally. The milestone places him ahead of several contemporary streaming giants, highlighting the broad international reach of his music. Critics often point to his cross-generational appeal as a key factor behind that reach. Bruno Mars draws influence from artists spanning decades of music history, from classic soul legends to modern pop innovators. His sound echoes elements of performers such as Michael Jackson and Prince, while maintaining a modern sensibility that resonates with younger audiences raised on streaming platforms. That balance between nostalgia and innovation has allowed Bruno Mars to remain relevant even as the music industry undergoes rapid transformation. In an era dominated by short-form social media clips and viral moments, his songs often feel carefully constructed rather than algorithm-driven. Behind the scenes, collaborators describe Mars as intensely detail-oriented in the studio. Producers who have worked with him say he can spend hours refining a single vocal line or instrumental arrangement. According to one producer familiar with his recording process, the singer approaches each project like a craftsman. He listens to every element of a track, the producer said. Nothing is accidental. Every harmony, every drum sound, every lyric has to feel right. That meticulous approach may help explain why Bruno Mars' catalog continues to perform so strongly years after release. Even older songs frequently reappear on streaming charts whenever new material arrives. The result is a ripple effect. A new single attracts fresh listeners who then rediscover his previous hits. The cultural impact of his music extends beyond streaming statistics. Bruno Mars has also become a defining figure in American pop culture, known for electrifying live performances and a stage presence reminiscent of classic showmen. His concerts combine choreography, live instrumentation, and powerful vocals in a way that echoes the golden era of pop performance. Music critic Daniel Reyes described this quality in a recent commentary about Mars' resurgence. Bruno Mars reminds audiences that pop stardom used to mean more than just releasing songs online, Reyes said. It meant commanding a stage, telling a story, and creating moments people remember for years. Risk It All appears to capture that spirit. Though the track is rooted in romance, its emotional tone speaks to broader themes of vulnerability and commitment. Fans across social media platforms have shared stories about how the song resonates with their personal experiences, helping it spread organically across playlists and streaming charts. Industry observers believe the song's success could translate into strong performance on major music charts in the United States. If the streaming momentum continues, Risk It All may soon appear among the top contenders on the Billboard Hot 100, potentially extending Bruno Mars' long history of chart-topping singles. Yet even beyond chart positions, the renewed spotlight on Bruno Mars highlights something rare in today's music landscape: longevity. Few artists maintain global relevance across multiple decades, especially in an era where trends evolve rapidly. Mars has managed to do so by focusing on musical authenticity rather than chasing every new style. Part of that authenticity comes from his roots. Growing up in Hawaii exposed him to a wide range of musical traditions, from rock and reggae to Motown classics. Those influences continue to shape his sound, giving his songs a sense of timeless familiarity. Fans often say that listening to Bruno Mars feels like rediscovering the emotional core of pop music. His songs celebrate love, heartbreak, joy, and nostalgia, the universal themes that connect listeners across cultures and generations. As the streaming numbers continue to climb and Risk It All maintains its position at the top of global charts, industry insiders are already speculating about what might come next. Some believe the single could signal the beginning of a larger project, possibly a new album or a major tour announcement. For now, however, the focus remains on the remarkable moment unfolding in real time. A decade and a half after his debut, Bruno Mars has once again proven that his voice and songwriting still resonate across the world. In an industry where trends change overnight, that kind of staying power is rare. And as Risk It All continues to climb charts and playlists, one thing becomes clear: the story of Bruno Mars is far from finished. If anything, the latest success suggests that his influence on pop music and on the audiences who sing along to his songs may be entering another unforgettable chapter.